Well, good morning. Morning Musings by Melinda. This week we've been talking a lot about the duality in our own personalities and what that means. First, we talked about annoyance and how people get so annoyed with each other, especially in social media, and have to have that self-righteous indignation where they're either correcting someone or adding their 2 cents in. And what I've said is annoyance is a normal part of life. We get annoyed with each other. We're human beings. And unless annoyance becomes an agitation like a burr under your saddle or a bee in your bonnet, where you're in a constant state of annoyance, then you just need to blow it off. I am the first one that's, in traffic going, come on, but I'm also the first one that in the line at one of the stores where somebody's a little short of money, I hand them the $5. And we talked a little bit about gossip and the fact that actually gossip is a part of your primal brain, that it is a part of who you are as a human being, because in the early days of how we all lived together in tribes, and I kind of wish we did that now when we're more of a community, but in the early days, that was the way that we understood where we stood inside our group or our community. And that gossip, when it becomes vile, when it becomes so inappropriate that you're spewing venom, that's when you're in your shadow side, or that darkness of your ego that you have to watch as you're balancing who you are on the planet. Yesterday we talked about innocent until proven guilty, and the interesting thing is that we all want to prove that we're innocent if someone is trying to make us look like we are someone that is inappropriate or has lied to them, or, people tell stories or, that kind of thing. And it happens to all of us, especially if you're a good boundary setter. People who've had boundaries set for them often take that nonsense, turn it into annoyance and gossip, and create you being guilty over something because you set a fair and sincere boundary with them. Because people don't always like to be called out on their stuff and accept things when they are responsible. Today we're talking about grudges and curmudgeons. And grudges is a different story rather than duality, because grudge holders have something within them that's terribly emotionally immature. I'm not talking about keeping somebody out of your life because they're toxic. That's different than holding a grudge. If you've had a misunderstanding and someone has tried over and over again to make amends or to apologize or get reconnected or do something in a fair way, and the offense that you felt that they did wasn't that big of an offense, it was just a misunderstanding, and you're holding a grudge, then you're an emotionally immature person and you don't have it within your character profile to be able to understand forgiveness. And forgiveness simply means neutrality. If you're a curmudgeon, that means you're a victim in life. You know those victim narcissists, those people who are always having something wrong with them so that they can gather attention from everybody around them. And they make it very, very obvious in their energy field. Those are curmudgeons. Curmudgeons are also those people who live in their glory days. Those people that live, they're in their 60s and they're still talking about the football game in high school where they scored the touchdown. Yeah, those. So grudges and curmudgeons are not exactly the same as what we've been talking about this week, as far as we all have duality and make mistakes and do things in our life. Grudges and curmudgeons are emotionally immature people who don't value themselves enough to rise up their vibrational frequency and meet somebody at a plane of being able to communicate and forgive. So that's a whole different story than what we've been talking about. A lot of people have been asking me about shadow side, and your shadow side is the part of you that is governed by ego. It's the part of you that does get annoyed. It's the part of you that does fall into being a victim to gossip at times, or maybe talking about somebody that you might regret. It's the part of you that wants to prove that you're innocent until proven guilty. But the shadow side that holds on to a grudge and is a curmudgeon is the shadow side that really needs to be worked out with a counselor, because you have a problem. And so guess what? I had a great time on iHeartRadio yesterday with 2 fantastic young men. I did a cold reading. I was a little concerned about it yesterday because I really didn't have any preconceived idea of, what kind of person was going to be coming to me. Not that I can't do a cold reading, But, sometimes people like to make a mockery out of people in my business. And I was, a little bit in trepidation. But no, I got wonderful respect. I got a lovely interview. I got two fine young men that were working with me. So when Jackie lets you know when that's going to happen, please listen to it because it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of information. And I'm getting my brain mapped by Dr. Debbie Cruz this Sunday when I'm doing a Life After Life demonstration. And that should be interesting because she is not only a doctorate of psychology, but she's also an engineer, and she is really developing ways and means to study the brain and optimum performance. So we'll get that information to you as well. I hope that you have a great day, and I'm not sure what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but I'm sorry yesterday's video got cut off, and we will see you then. Have a good one.